Another day, another dollar. Thank the Lord for another 24. God, I knew that's you. I'm just getting back home from the crib. Nice leg day money. Just got that leg day money at the gym. Feeling pumped up, feeling inspired, feeling extra motivated. Getting right into the video, correctional officer video. I'm talking about some policy and procedures that you need to pay special attention to, and you always want to keep in the back of your head working as a correctional officer. You know, these are some of the most important things when it comes to corrections, and they could be the difference between you keeping your job and you possibly being sued, losing your job, you know, going to jail, doing prison time. You know, the first one is inmate accountability and account procedure. That is the most important thing you do in corrections, making sure all of the inmates are accounted for. You know, when you count, you know, making sure the inmates are not trying to escape, making sure everybody's where they're supposed to be within the prison, making sure nobody is out of bounds or somewhere they're not supposed to be. You know, when things go down in a prison, like for instance, you find the door unlocked that's supposed to be locked, or you find a gate that's open, or you do a count and your count is off, stuff like that is not good. It's no good. You know, say for instance, I'm doing a count, you know, and I'm counting with my coworker, my fellow officer. We count right, and our count is messed up the first time. Okay, boom. We call it into control. They say, you got a bad count, recount it. Control is automatically going to notify, you know, the outside perimeter patrol trucks that patrol the prison, you know, making sure nobody's trying to escape, breaking into the prison, stuff like that, protecting the property and the premises. They're going to automatically notify them, hey, we got a bad count in such and such unit, you know, just so they could be on alert, just in case an inmate possibly tried to escape, and that's why our count is bad, you know. So boom, we count again. The second time around, if it's bad again, it's really bad. You know, now you're going to have to do a bed book count, or, you know, a more thorough and detailed count. You're going to have to make everybody stand up, you know, come to the door with their ID card. You're going to go with a bed book that has their picture in there, and you got to make sure and verify everybody that's in that cell is right there where they're supposed to be. You know, I've had plenty of times where we've had a bad count, and you know, in my career, a lot of times, you know, it comes out not being something that's serious. You know, it's a lot of times an inmate is somewhere they're not supposed to be, or an inmate, they were in the food service, or they were somewhere for a count, but they weren't technically supposed to be in that area. So that's why our count was messed up, you know, and it always ends up working out. But you don't want to take any chances. You know, you want to always make sure you do a proper count. Make sure you accounting for all the inmates. You actually counting a living, breathing body. You know, night shift, you know, they're in the bed. You know, if it don't look right or look like a fake body, why take a chance? Knock on the window. Make sure they move or something. Stuff like that. You know, I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all have seen prison movies, stuff like that, where inmates escape. They put a dummy in their bed, you know, to make it look like it's a real person. Whole time they got an escape plan hatched. You know, you always got to think security and safety of the institution. You know, that's why I said, like, if you find a door unlocked or a gate that's unlocked that's not supposed to be, you need to automatically notify your supervisor, you know, and tell them what the situation is, because 9 times out of 10, they're going to have to recall all the inmates back to their housing unit. We're going to have to do an emergency count just to make sure somebody didn't potentially try to escape. You know, that's what's corrections 101, you know, safety and security. Always think security, you know, always be checking doors, making sure stuff is locked. You know, don't ever try to let no inmates walk behind you. You know, you about to come up on a corner and it's just you, man. Always assume an inmate could be waiting right there with a knife in his hand, waiting for you to come around so he can try to jab you in the neck. Always think security. The next thing that you want to pay special attention to is the use of force policy. You know, when I say use of force, you get into an altercation with an inmate, you know, an inmate's not listening to your commands, you know, you have to put hands on them, or an inmate's trying to attack you and you have to defend yourself. You breaking up a fight. Inmates assaulting one of your co-workers and you happen to be one of the responders. You know, always know what you can and what you can't do. You know what I'm saying? Know the tactics that they teach you when you go to the academy. If you worked at another institution, you know, you got previous correctional officer experience and you get on a new facility, know what you can and can't do as far as the old prison, y'all may have been taught different things, but you may not necessarily be able to do that at your new institution. For example, when I worked at the county jail, when I went to the academy for the county jail, they taught us to do a knee strike, if we were trying to get an inmate under control. I work for the Bureau of Prisons now. They don't teach us that in the academy. So if I were to get into it with an inmate at where I work at now, when I was to possibly knee strike an inmate and something bad go down or it's caught on camera, that could be bad news for me, So always know the use of force policy, And the main thing you want to remember is this too, right? If you get into it with an inmate or it's a group of you and your coworkers and y'all got to take an inmate down, once he's in handcuffs, y'all got the hand restraints and leg restraints on him and he's under control, it's over. That's not the time to be trying to get in extra cheap shots because he spit in your face, he punched you, stuff like that. That's bad business, man. You're going to go down. There's so many people that get hemmed up with excessive force of use of force, man. It's ridiculous, So if you are a witness to your coworkers, getting extra shots in, stuff like that, man, don't take no chances, man, going down the bad, being on the front page of the funny papers with them, man. Report it. Me, I like my job. I'm not trying to go down and get hemmed up for somebody else's actions. Even if an inmate was to try to assault me, spit on me, stuff like that, if I got to take them down, this and that, or I got to pepper spray them, once I got them in handcuffs, it's over. It's a part of corrections. You may possibly be assaulted. It comes with the job. It just is what it is. The next thing, all y'all want to mention this too, man. With that use of force policy, what I just said, in the event that an inmate is attacking you or trying to stab you, and you can't get him off of you, man, all bets are off the table. You got to do what you got to do at the end of the day, to get him off of you so you can make it home safely. If you got to go outside the policy, he can run in your inmate, run in your office real quick, trying to stab you. And I don't know, you got to grab something real quick to try to knock him upside the head. Do what you got to do to get him off of you, Don't take no chances, man. Forget the policy, this and that. If they on you, man, it's life or death. You got to do what you got to do at the end of the day. Anybody in that situation, I don't care if they the internal affairs investigator, if they had an inmate on top of them trying to stab them, trying to choke them out, put them in a sleeper chokehold, you want to do what you got to do to get them up off of you, and in the event that you are able to get them up off of you, you get them restrained and under control, then it's over. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, you got to make your home safety. That's the number one priority in corrections is staff safety. Then it's inmate safety. You know what I'm saying? On to the next thing. Another policy and procedure that you need to pay special attention to is the medical procedures. Never deny an inmate medical care. This is one of the things I've always done in my career. When it comes to an inmate, they come to my office, they complaining of a medical issue, especially if they talking about they having some kind of chest pain, this and that. I always call medical. Always call the nurse or whoever, the medical department, and let them know what the situation is. There's been times in my career, where an inmate said they complaining of chest pain. I call down the medical. They like, oh, we already seen him earlier, man. He not really having any chest pains. He just trying to find an excuse to come up to medical. Hey, I called y'all. I'm going to document that y'all said y'all not going to see him or whatever y'all said, because that takes the blame off of me if something were to happen. If he really was having chest pains and he was to fall over, have a heart attack and die on my watch, always document that. Always call medical, especially if you're a correctional officer, correctional staff, because you didn't go to school, to be a nurse or a doctor. So don't make that judgment call. Don't make that medical call. Let them do their job. Always call medical. When they saying they have some kind of medical issue. I don't take any chances. I had to save an inmate's life before. He was having a heart attack. He had 2 heart attacks in the shower. I had to do CPR. I had to get on my walkie-talkie, call for medical assistance, throw on some gloves, and start pumping his chest. And I actually saved his life. So when it comes to the medical side of things, I don't take no chances. I don't care if the inmate is playing You know, they just trying to find the excuse to go to medical. I let them make that judgment call, you know, because like I said, I didn't go to school to be a nurse or a doctor. So I'm not sitting to sit here and try to pretend I know if the inmate is or isn't faking it. You know what I'm saying? The last thing you want to be particularly mindful of when it comes to policy is your emergency responses and your contingency plans. When I mean that, you want to know what to do when certain things go down. You know, you got an inmate assault. You got a staff assault, being assaulted by an inmate. You got a riot on your hand. You got a natural disaster, bad tornadoes coming through. You got a major disturbance. You got a whole bunch of inmates, the Mexicans versus the Bloods, the Aryan Brotherhood versus the Blacks on the rec yard. You got 60 inmates fighting, stabbing each other up. You got to know what the policy and procedure says, what you're supposed to be doing. You know, you need to know if you're supposed to respond, if you're supposed to stay back on your unit and start locking down your unit, you know, and be on standby in case they need reinforcements or extra staff to respond to the scene. Always know and know this too. You know, when things happen, a lot of times it's never going to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? Stuff happens so fast in corrections. You know, you could be just sitting here, man, 10 minutes into your shift. Next thing you know, you look out the corner of your eye, you see an inmate just start stabbing another inmate. Boom, hitting them hard in the neck. You know, it happens so fast. So it's never going to be perfect. You know, the main thing, you know, is to try to remember, you know, to do something. Something's better than nothing. You know, you may not always, you know, be able to think quick on your feet and think back to your training and what you taught in the academy, but something's better. Hit your body alarm, get on your walkie-talkie, say you need help. Inmate on top of you, start screaming. Anything you could think of, man. Like I say, something. Don't just stand there and not do nothing. You see one of your coworkers get into it with an inmate, they start grappling. Don't just stand there. You know, you a rookie. You like, should I jump in? Should I not jump in? I don't want to get in trouble. I don't know what I should do. Do something. Call, get on the radio. I need help in C3 unit, hit your body alarm, something, man. I don't know anything. Grab your pepper spray, spray the inmate. Even if you accidentally spray your coworker, do something, man. Something is better than nothing. Those are like some of the main procedures that you always want to keep in the back of your head. You know, like I said, it's not going to be perfect. Sometimes, you know, when things happen quick, you know, policy and procedure, you may forget, you know, and it's never perfect, you know. It's always a teachable moment in corrections, you know. You may have to go talk to the captain, this and that. As long as you try your best to stay within the policy and the procedure, you know, you would do just fine, you know. Y'all like this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel at The Ghetto Bodybuilder. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok at The Ghetto Bodybuilder. I got that merchandise for sale. No pains, just game. I got a lot of gym and fitness related merchandise. That's your thing too, man. You know, y'all got any comments, questions, or concerns? Drop a comment. I'll be sure to get back with you as soon as I can. Y'all know how we coming. Let's get motivated.